So anyway.
You were back last year. No, I don't think he did. No, but his grant, I think, was one of the guys doing that restaurant.
Well, no, actually, there was
Yeah.
tow trucks, fire something.
Right. Hold on.
That would be
That's it. That's it. You guys all settled down?
They all settled down there.
You sure?
I think we're all right.
Kissed and made up?
Yeah.
I hate to have to call the police department for this meeting.
sure you would. There would, nothing would be done.
Well, maybe it would. Only to take you away.
Take me away, yeah.
You want that?
They see,
I didn't make that happen.
I'm gonna hold our job lately.
then they're gonna see me and then the course and throw me.
They don't want you there? Awesome. Hi, Mark.
Here are you.
Good. Chief? All right. What's up? Want some ground? You ready, Keith? Good evening. Welcome to April 8th, 2019 Board of Trustees meeting. Before tonight's meeting commences, I'd like to ask everybody to stand for a moment of silence, remembering all the brave men and women who have served this great nation of ours, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First up, roll call attendance.
Bartolotta. Here. Birch. Here. Freiskar.
Here.
Markey. Here. Thomas.
Here.
Wall.
Here.
Joliet.
Here.
Okay, next up, we'll need a motion to approve the agenda for today, April 8th, 2019.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Support. Any further discussion on that? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Granted. Under announcements, join the Friends of the Library on Saturday, April 13th, 2019 for the second annual Book It 5K event. Pets are welcome to participate with owners. Proceeds to benefit the Waterford Public Library. Start and finish at Torming House on Civic Center campus. Registration begins at 8:30 a.m. with a 10 a.m. race start. Registration information available at the Waterford Township Library. Take advantage of the early bird discount before March 25th, 2019. Probably should announce them on the 24th of March, I'm a few days late, so sorry about that. Join us in the 4th Annual Waterford Township Earth Day Cleanup event on Saturday, April 13, 2019, from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Volunteers will be out in the community doing their part to collect and clean up rubbish and trash along the roadways in some of the most visible areas of our township. Sign up in advance by calling 248-674-6201 or email supervisor@waterfordmi.gov or online at www.waterfordmi.gov/Earth Day. Volunteers will check in at Town Hall on Saturday, April 13th to receive their supplies. Check-in starts, I'm going to say 7:45, 8 o'clock. And there will be gloves, garbage bags, safety vests, bottled water for everybody that wants to come in and work that day. And again, there's a lot of people there's two sides to every coin. There's positive, negative, heads, tails. Are you looking? Well, it's only one day a year and stuff, but we have taken as many as 6, and one year we got 60 cubic yards of garbage picked up in the township, and they had a person who called me, and I was probably a jerk when I responded to him, but he said, that's not that much. I said, okay, but if it was dumped in your front yard, you would be amazed how many 60 cubic yards of garbage is. So it's no longer in the community, it's out of the travel ways where people don't have to look at it. And again, there's a lot to be said for visible perception of any community. So you got an hour, 2 hours, the whole day. Come on out, join the crew, and we'll get it cleaned up. Kick off the spring season by gathering with friends and family on Earth Day to clean up one of your favorite parks in Waterford. The Parks and Recreation Department will supply each park with garbage bags and any necessary equipment to clean up. Call 248-674-5441 or email Sarah at sfrederick@waterfordmi.gov to sign up for the park by 4/12/2019. Time slots are available all day. Children must be accompanied by an adult. Adults don't act childish because you'll have to be accompanied by another adult. The 51st District Court, the Waterford Coalition for Youth, and the Waterford Youth Assistance cordially invite the community to Court Night Open House on Wednesday, April 17th, 2019, from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right here at the 51st District Court, 5100 Civic Center Drive. There will be a special presentation at 4:45 p.m. and at 5:45 p.m. For more information, please contact 248-618-7598. Spring Garden Fair hosted by the Library Garden Club, Thursday, April 25th, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, April 27th, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sunday, April 28th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, please contact the Waterford Library at 248-674-4831. Spend a fun morning at Hess Hathaway Park for the annual sheep shearing and pancake breakfast that will include wool spinning demonstrations. Saturday, March 27, 2019, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sheep are sheared at 10 a.m. The fee for breakfast is $3 for those 10 years and under, $5 for those 11 years and over, cash only. More information, please visit the Waterford website at waterfordmi.gov/parks or call Waterford Parks and Recreation at 248-674-5441. In the order I read that in, it says sheep shearing and pancake breakfast. Eat before we shear, so I should be pancake breakfast and then sheep shearing, but it's nicer that way. You don't have to worry about sheep shearing and your pancakes. Join Parks and Recreation for the Unicorn Utopia Party on Saturday, May 4th, 2019 at Hess Hathaway Community Building from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Dress up in your favorite special gown or outfit for the magical chance to meet a unicorn. Each child will have a unique photo opportunity on a unicorn and a ride. There will be craft, hayride, Hess Hathaway Animal Tour, and a special treat and drink. Children must be accompanied by an adult. The fee is $18 per child and pre-registration is required at waterfordmi.gov/parks or again call 674-5441. The library's youth, teen, and adult departments will be giving out comic books on Free Comic Book Day while supplies last on Saturday, May 4th, 2019. One comic book per person, please. No registration required. Drop in anytime between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. For more information, visit freecomicbookday.com or contact our library at 248-674-4831. Waterford's 25th Annual Business Recognition Breakfast tickets are now available for the 2019 Waterford Business Recognition Breakfast. Join us Friday, May 10th, 2019 at 7:15 a.m. at OCC Highland Lakes campus here in Waterford Township. Waterford Township and the Waterford Area Chamber of Commerce host the annual event to acknowledge the longevity commitment, community service, and beautification efforts of the Waterford business community. Tickets are $20 each and may be purchased online at www.waterfordmi.gov or from the Waterford Township Supervisor's Office at 248-674-6201 or supervisor@waterfordmi.gov. And we do have one of our business owners here, Dr. Mark Hearn, in attendance, who will be celebrating his 25th year of veterinary service in Waterford Township. So I saw him in the crowd tonight, and we will recognize him at that event. He will be one of our recognition business or longevity. Join the Spring River Walk cleanup on Saturday, May 11, 2019 from 9 a.m. to noon. Volunteers will meet behind Planet Fitness near the Crescent Lake Road and Highland Road. Bring gloves, rakes, pruners, wheelbarrows, tarps, insect repellent, water and trash bags will be provided. Family-friendly activity, all are welcome. Is Matt Cubby here?
No.
He isn't, okay. I was going to tell the attack story. Matt got attacked by bees down there one year, it was funny. Join Parks and Recreation for a family dance party on Saturday, May 18th, 2019, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Waterford Recreation Center. Professional 4x6 photograph and refreshments are included. Pre-registration, $12 per person is required at waterfordmi.gov/parks or call 248-674-5441. Under awards and presentations, we have Representative Andrea Schroeder. There you are. Presenting a posthumous proclamation for our very own Jeannie Richards.
Good evening.
It's good to see you out and about here.
Thank you. Thank you. Better every day.
Good.
So, thanks very much. Is Jeannie's family here?
Yes, they are.
Hi. If you want to come on up here.
Come on down.
I apologize for my informal attire. I still have to wear non-restrictive clothing.
For the rest of your term, right?
It's weird. So it's nice to meet you. I'm sorry for your loss. Hi. Thank you. I was not real good friends with Jeannie Richards because I just didn't know her that well, but I did have the opportunity to meet with her a couple of times after I ran the No Spice K2 initiative in Independence and Springfield Township. We would see each other in different circles with Families Against Narcotics and some other different events, but I was certainly well aware of the impact she was having on the Waterford community through Brian's Hope. And while your family is experiencing a unique kind of grief, I felt it was appropriate that we give a special tribute for the work that she did and the lasting impact she'll have on this community. So if it's all right, I will read this to you. Let it be known that it is with a great deal of respect for her accomplishments that we join the family of Jeannie Richards in remembering her significant contributions to the people of the state of Michigan. She was a devoted mother and friend, while simultaneously wholeheartedly committed to her work. Her cherished memory will not fade from the hearts and minds of those who knew and loved her. A beloved mother of 4 and grandmother of 2, Jeannie was always oriented in helping others. In her own words, quote, "I believe good can come from bad and I can help," end quote. For 25 years, she selflessly served families by teaching how to eat and prepare healthy foods through Michigan State University Extension. After the terrible tragedy of losing her son, Jeannie did not turn inward, but spun her grief into action. Jeannie left MSU Extension and founded Brian's Hope, an organization focused on awareness and education against heroin and opiate addiction. Her nonprofit raised money in order to purchase naloxone for residents, as well as the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. Many hold fond memories of Jeannie and admire her for her tireless efforts, dependability, and love for others around her. In paying homage to her life and memory, we also honor the people who were closest to her, including her family. We wish them comfort in their memory of her as an irreplaceable member of the community. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to offer the highest praise and tribute as a memorial for Jeannie Richards. Although she might not walk amongst us anymore, her influence will be felt through the memories and kind deeds of those who knew her best. This is for your family. Thank you very much.
I'd just like to say thank you, and the rest of the community to do just half of what she's done, we could be living in a better place. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. It is a tribute. She worked, the police department worked, the fire department to get Narcan out and get it to people. And it is, like you said, she was the driving force behind Brian's Hope. She had a lot of people help her, a lot of people on board, but because of Jeannie Richards, there are literally hundreds of people who are alive today that would have perished from their own overdoses, from education, from the Narcan, from everything that was out there. Literally hundreds of people alive today because of that lady. So let's give it up for her one more time. Okay, next up is the consent agenda. Is there anything anybody would like to remove before I go over? Okay, March 19, 2019, special joint meeting minutes with the Zoning Board of Appeals. March 25th, 2019, meeting minutes. March 26, 2019, special joint meeting minutes with the Planning Commission. April 8, 2019, bill payment. Department of Public Works, March 2019 report. Fire Department's 2018 annual report. Parks and Recreation's February and March reports. On the Planning Commission, reappointment of Steve Reno and Sandra Worth to another term. Zoning Board of Appeals, appoint Todd Bonnevier, reappoint Steve Reno, the representative from the Planning Commission, Rick Schneider, and Dave Zilker.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Any further discussion? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes?
Birch.
Yes.
Roscoe.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Okay, next up is the board liaison reports. Tony, you want to start us off?
I got a few things here. First one is a plant survey of Van Norman Lake on Tuesday, May 21st at 1:30. If anybody's interested in going out and surveying the lake at the Wilton Court Boat Launch. Second thing is youth assistant meeting meets this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. And we had a planning commission meeting this Tuesday. We have 4 cases. The first one was an overlay zone amendment for some someplace small, and I won't talk about that because we're going to be discussing our agenda. We have an ordinance that would allow single-family development similar to Windsong Park at Cooley Lake and Hillary. Jim Merritt will be doing that. He did an outstanding job building. Vertical bridge development, to put in a T-Mobile tower, which I won't discuss because we'll be talking more about it on our agenda today. And we have another one, a 42-unit single-family residential condominium at the Old Bird Elementary School site. And under our consent agenda, we discussed all these ones to add some more floor space at the northwest corner Telegraph, over Telegraph and Dixie Road. And we do have a new planner, Scott Alford. Ayler. He's under Larry's wing right now. Larry's teaching, so I think Scott's going to be a good addition to the planning commission. That's all I got this week.
Steve?
Planning Commission meeting next week. I'm sorry, Cable Commission meeting next Tuesday.
Okay. Margaret?
Nothing to report.
Okay, and when we talked about the appointments there, for the appointments, reappointments to the zoning board of appeals, say, Gary Craik resigned from the ZBA, and I believe it was due to health reasons, I don't know that, but Gary served our ZBA for many, many years, and I just want to say thank you to Gary for his years of service here to our township, our zoning board of appeals.
This is National Library Week. The theme this year is Libraries Equal Strong Communities. Make a point of visiting the library this week. Get your library card if you don't have one. You will get a free gift if you get a library card. There's also a display up on the second floor in the Township Hall, so take a look at that if you get a chance. There's also drop-in story times for young children that will receive this week. The final session for the spring runs from April 9th through May 1st. You have anything to add to that, Joan? Okay, thank you.
KJ?
I have nothing to report other than we have a Williams Lake Board meeting April 10th and a ZBA meeting next week, April 16th.
Okay. Bert?
The Hess Hathaway Board meets this Thursday, the 11th. And just to reiterate the two events that are coming up, the sheep shearing event on April 27th and the unicorn event, Unicorn Utopia event May 4th.
Good.
Hey, Gary?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to mention, I didn't mention it in my report, but anybody knows Dennis Griffin passed away, and he was a fixture of the planning commission for years, and he was really a big asset, so anybody didn't know Dennis, he was a very good man, and it's sad.
One other thing too, while we're on the subject of the library, income tax are not only due on April 15th, so are the poems for the Poetry Legion exhibit. So those of you who haven't written your poems yet, you still have 7 days to get them in, and I'm one of those that hasn't done it yet. I will get one written, I promise. I will get one written. It'll probably be hilarious because it'll be that bad, people will laugh. So again, that is due to the poetry. And like I said, just write a poem and put it up. People won't laugh at you, they'll laugh with you. So they really will. Good stuff. Okay, under old business, we got a possible adoption of wireless facilities and right-of-way ordinance 2019-003.
Make a motion to adopt the wireless facilities right-of-way ordinance 29-003.
Support.
Any further discussion? There was one thing that I saw in there. I just forgot that I made a note of it. Item number 6 on recitals, it says on the bottom line, right away for each small wireless facility in it will greater than, I'm assuming will be greater than the annual fees under the act. Seems like there's missing a word there. Oh, you did? Okay.
Well, that's in the resolution that's later on in the agenda.
That is added in there? Okay.
trust that item you mentioned is in the resolution, not the ordinance. Correct?
Okay, it is in the resolution. Okay, good. I just saw that, made a note. We got it. Anybody else? Okay, roll call vote.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes.
And again, I'd like to compliment you on the job you did in that commingling stuff to get it all to work out, because there's a lot of stuff involved there. And the potential down the road for multiple polls is there, so we have to have some type of control to limit how much you're going to actually need. So, job well done. Under introduction, zoning ordinance text amendment case 19-03-01, Summit Place overlay zone text amendment.
I'd like to make a motion to introduce the case of consideration for final adoption, text amendments case number 19-03-01.
I support.
Any further discussion on that? Okay, so we roll call vote.
Wall.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes. Bartolotta.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay, next up, zoning ordinance text amendment, case number 19-03-02, dwelling unit text amendment. This is what Tony mentioned earlier.
I make a motion to introduce the zoning ordinance text amendment case 19-03-02, dwelling unit text amendment, to be adopted at our next meeting on April 22nd.
Support.
Any further discussion on this? Roll call vote.
Joliet.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes.
Okay, under new business, resolution establishing fees for wireless facilities, wireless support structures, and utility poles in the public right of way.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution establishing fees for wireless facilities, wireless support structures, and utility poles in public right of way.
Support.
Okay, any further discussion on this? Okay, roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes. Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Next up, Waterford Township campus repairs.
I make a motion to approve the Parks and Rec budget amendment, to approve the capital improvement revolving fund budget amendment, to approve the general fund paving improvements, to approve the Parks and Rec paving improvements.
Support.
Any further discussion? I mentioned overall this is a $437,291.15 project. Okay, roll call vote.
Wall.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes. Joliet.
Yes.
Praska.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Okay, we have a resolution to support the reinstatement of the state historic tax credits. Mr. Jordan, you're here.
Yes.
How are you tonight?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. Are you going to read that resolution?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So this is a resolution in support of the reinstatement of state historic tax credits, currently Senate Bill 54 and House Bill 4100. So I'll read it and then we have to have a whereas the historic buildings, neighborhoods, and places in Michigan villages, towns, and cities distinguish each community and provide character and a sense of place that contribute significantly to the quality of life and the economic benefits enjoyed in and by each community. And whereas the preservation and rehabilitation of historic buildings, places, and neighborhoods contributes to the beauty, character, and economic vitality of Michigan communities. And whereas the labor-intensive nature of historic rehabilitation creates jobs and investments in local businesses, has been proved to generate more economic activity than equivalent investment in new construction. And whereas demolition or destruction of historic buildings creates cost to Michigan and its communities by destroying the often irreplaceable construction and ornamental materials of each structure, and by adding significantly to landfills whose makeup is estimated to be more than 40% building materials and waste. And whereas development and redevelopment within established villages, townships, and cities is encouraged by Governor Whitmer, and whereas many public policies and financial and lending practices and policies create disincentives or barriers to the preservation, renovation, and rehabilitation of historic buildings and resources, and create a preferential financial environment for new construction, and whereas Michigan has measured the economic impacts of the former Michigan Historic Tax Credit Program between the enactment in 1999 and their elimination in 2011, and seen significant positive direct impacts of the revitalization of neighborhoods and communities, the preservation and creation of affordable and market rate housing, the creation of skilled local jobs, and the subsequent private investment in areas surrounding tax credit-driven revitalization projects. And whereas each dollar of credit issued leverages $11.37 in direct economic impact, such that the former Michigan Historic Tax Credit Program during their 12-year history had leveraged $251 million in federal historic tax credits that otherwise would not have been returned to Michigan. It spurred $1.46 billion in direct rehabilitation activity and created 36,000 jobs. And whereas the Michigan legislature is presently considering Senate Bill 54, House Bill 4100, and would reinstate an up to 25% investment tax credit for owners of historic residential and commercial properties who substantially rehabilitate their properties, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Charter Township in Waterford endorse and support both Senate Bill 54, House Bill 4100, and call upon the Michigan legislature to pass this important legislation and for Governor Whitmer to sign it in order to stimulate appropriate development and redevelopment and protect the historic character and quality of life of our communities. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution will be forwarded to the Michigan Historic Preservation Network. Yes.
Does anybody have any questions for Joe?
All right, great. Thanks.
Okay, anybody else have any comments on that? Although we don't really have a designated historic district in Waterford, there are historic buildings, that this would come in very nice for people, like I said, want to invest money in, bringing it back up to standards, so I can take it up to 25% tax credit, and that makes, there's incentive to do that, and again, to rehabilitate or restore it. So, okay.
I'll make a resolution, or I will make a motion to adopt the resolution in support of the reinstatement of the state historic tax credit.
I support.
Okay. This is a roll call vote.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Joliet.
Yes.
Raska.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Okay, this brings us to the end of our regularly scheduled agenda. It's time to open up the public comment. When it becomes a public speaker, you might have 3 minutes. So, who wants to come up and speak in the public? Yes, sir.
Darrell Cohen, 4012 Sawyer. The closed section is an acronym MMRMA. What does MMRMA stand for?
I was not listening.
You're going into a closed section to discuss tentative settlement MMRMA lawsuit.
Okay.
What is MMRMA?
Michigan Municipal
Risk management.
Risk Management.
Michigan Municipal what?
Risk management
Risk
authority.
Risk management, okay. A for association or?
MMR. Yep.
All right, that's all.
Administration. Administration Association. Administration.
Authority.
Authority. Okay, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay.
go into closed session.
I'll support.
Ms. Burge, can you give the reason, please?
Possible closed session to discuss tentative settlement MMRMA lawsuit.
We have support? Any further discussion on that?
I'm gonna
Roll call
get a
vote.
hold of her right now.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
Birch.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Malia.
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Time is 6:34.
Yes.